taking you guys along on another road trip, and no road trip would be complete without a stop at one of New Hampshire's amazing visitor centers, rest stop, liquor store combo. Wait till you guys see this, we've got everything. Here you can see the White Mountains up there, the sea coast, our house in there. The biggest fan I've ever seen.
You can get in here with the cows.
So along with all kinds of food options, we've got a major mega liquor store. Liquor in New Hampshire is an interesting thing I'll tell you about in a sec. Height of summer, so of course it's very, very busy today. Everybody's headed either up to the mountains or to the coast from other places, or going back home because it is a Sunday. Here you can get all kinds of cute New Hampshire paraphernalia. They never spell my name right on these things, so I don't even look. There's always lots of stuff showing the old man on the mountain who it was up in the Franklin Notch in the White Mountains just north of here, but he crumbled off. I think it's been like over 20 years since his face fell off the side of the mountain, but he's still on everything, including our license plates and roadside. It's the Common Man North Side Hookset rest stop and visitor center. There's one on the south side as well. We've even got a covered bridge up there. Look at that. Okay, so the crazy thing with our liquor stores, we only have state liquor stores. It's not like California where I grew up, where you could buy liquor from like a gas station or the grocery store, even something like that. And it's not like in the South where they have like, well, I guess it's kind of like a package store, but not quite. So our liquor stores are state run, so we get the revenue from them, but there is no tax on the alcohol. And because we buy in such bulk as a state, we get really good deals from like the distilleries and the breweries and stuff like that. So alcohol here is dirt cheap. People come from all over surrounding states to buy it. They're not supposed to. Technically, the law says that the beverage you buy is supposed to be consumed within the state of New Hampshire if it's purchased in New Hampshire. They used to do stings, I'm told, where cops would hang out like in these parking lots and check for out-of-state plates and ding the people for leaving with the good priced alcohol, but I've never really seen that happen. And I do see plates all the time. Like a few months ago, I saw a guy from New York with a cart loaded up with giant things of Tito's. I think maybe some people, or I like to think that maybe he owns a business or something and is just getting it cheap for his bar. I don't know. But yeah, definitely kind of funny because, you know, we are at a rest stop and drinking and driving. Not cool, not okay, never good. But you have to wonder about some of these people. Although I guess they're not like sitting in their cars and consuming all of it. I'm hoping they're taking it home, so I'm sure that's the case, right? But yeah, so it's kind of another little interesting thing about New Hampshire that makes us unique, along with these beautiful rest stops. And yeah, so when we first came here, that was another thing we noticed, and we would always like get excited about it, because not every state has these. And when you travel across the country, you definitely see that there's a difference in rest areas and what the state provides as far as that goes. And we are a notch above the rest, in my opinion, on that. So it's just kind of a cool thing. Now we are going to get going and continue the adventure. Decided to make a little pit stop at one of our favorite places, Max Maples. And they have amazing maple creamies. I will show you.
Sprinkles?
Oh yeah. Behold, a thing of beauty. Honestly, guys, like, best thing ever. We love it. We will just get in the car sometimes and come. How far did it sit? Like, we're almost 2 hours from home, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Almost 2 hours from home. So the maple creamy, it is a Vermont invention, but we are in Plainfield, New Hampshire, right on the Vermont border, like right across the river. Connecticut River is Vermont. And Max Maples here in Plainfield, awesome farm. It's fun to come during Maple Weekend. I think that's when we first discovered it. They do like cider donuts, pumpkin patch, all that kinds of stuff. There's always something going on throughout the year, 4th of July, everything. It's a family run dairy, so like the cream milk and everything that they use, they actually have the cows here, so everything is fresh. And fun fact, I am lactose intolerant, so that is why I got the little kitty size portion. Still worth it. And it comes with fresh maple candy that they make here in house with their own fresh maple syrup, and everything is like farm to table, farm to snack stand, however you want to call it. But awesome place. It's seriously like one of the greatest things I've ever eaten. I like dream about these maple creamies. So freaking good. It's utterly delicious. And we are like 20 minutes from our next destination, which is just 20 minutes south of here. And it is New Hampshire's only national park. All right, guys, we are at the Saint-Gaudens National Historic Park in Cornish, New Hampshire, the only national park in New Hampshire. Augusts Saint-Gaudens came to Cornish in 1885 and rented a summer house from his friend Charles Beeman. He ended up adapting the house to his needs and converted a hay barn into a studio. Saint-Gaudens grew to love the place and finally purchased it in 1892. The family continued to use it as a summer retreat until 1900, when it became their full-time residence. And he named it Aspet after his father's birthplace in France. Over the years, he transformed the grounds and gardens and hedges into a bowling green, 9-course golf course. He completely remodeled the house, which was later given to the National Park Service. Even though the golf course and swimming pool is gone, the rest of the grounds remain. What we're going to go see now. Beautiful gardens, beautiful setting.
1965. It was donated to the National Park in 1965.
Okay.
The first attempt to donate it to the National Park was in 1940s, but because of the war, they did not take it on and stuff.
Okay.
And then it was readdressed again in 1965.
Wow, amazing.
So everything was kept here. No one else has lived in the house other than the caretaker.
That's
they
wonderful.
took care of it when they were. It was a museum and the memorial and stuff.
That's wonderful. So the lovely docent was saying that everything in here is original to when the Saint-Gaudens lived here. And the decor, the art, everything. Now there is no art in here that he made himself. That would be all outside, and he was a perfectionist. He would even sculpt and resculpt, so there are different versions of the same sculpture, and his art can be seen throughout the world. And this house was purchased by the National Park Service in the 60s, and I'm so glad it was. Some of the art on the walls, though, is from his wife. A little confusing. Her name was Augusta, and his name was Augustus. So if you see, like, oh, the art from, you know, Augusta Saint-Gaudens, that's the wife, and Augustus is the man, the sculptor. Pretty funny. Quite a lovely home for the time period. Here's the icebox. Really cool and such a peaceful spot. Look at this epic porch too. Loving this porch. If you could look past those trees and bushes there, that the Connecticut River's right there, with Vermont on the other side. This one looks like it's about to go all electric. And here we have the Shaw Memorial, dedicated to the 54th Massachusetts during the Civil War, or War between the States. And this is the 4th version of the sculpture. He kept perfecting it and changing it each time he made it, apparently, but this is the one that sits here. It's quite beautiful. And here's a lovely one for Civil War Admiral David Glasgow Farragut. The great success of this work assured Gaudens' reputation as a sculpture following its unveiling in New York's Madison Square Garden in 1881. It is so hot I can't talk, but it's beautiful. And what they say about these sculptures is that they are not remakes or copies. They are taken from the original molds of the originals and replaced here so people can see them. And some of them were from the national parks, and some of them were just second, third, or fourth ones that the parks purchased and put here. So, yep. And the original of this Lincoln bust is actually in Chicago, and then the second one here. Augustus did get his start on making cameos, a once very popular form of jewelry, which I absolutely love, and it makes sense because really, aren't they just little sculptures that you can wear? This one reminds me of the famous Remington sculpture. Beautiful. The ability of an artist to take someone's likeness and capture it and make it into something so beautiful is something I admire. I don't have artistic ability like that, but I certainly appreciate it. Artist studio out in the woods. It would be an inspiring place to come and sculpt and create, and yeah, I could see it. Beautiful. So this is meant to be a Roman sacrificial altar. That's not so great. And from the things I've been reading and talking to the docent, I'm not gonna lie, I think that Augusts Saint-Gaudens was a little bit of a weirdo. A true artsy weirdo. And like a proper weirdo, this memorial is to him. Who would want a sacrificial altar as a memorial for themselves? I sure wouldn't. It's a little bit demonic and creepy, but I mean, it's pretty on the surface, I guess. I just said, you know, that's weird and who would want that? And my husband said, oh, well, the wife made that, you know, had this done for him. And I said, well, she was a weirdo too. And he said, they're French, they're artists, of course they are. And admission to get into this national park is $10 per adult. And that does get you on the grounds, into the house, visitor center. There's a film you can watch, and like all of the galleries and everywhere that I've shown you. And I'm getting attacked by bugs. All right, we've got America's longest wooden covered bridge and a Lafayette tour stop together in one place. How cool is that? And we are kicking off Lafayette's tour. Things have started happening across the country already. We've got plans to go to a couple events near us. And it's going to be really exciting because it is going to be officially done through the Friends of Lafayette organization, and they're going to have reenactors and all kinds of events throughout, kind of redoing the different things that he did when he came back and saw everybody on his tour of America after a very exciting life. So another thing to look forward to. Longest wooden bridge in the country, and it's New Hampshire's. Woot woot. Walk your horses or pay $2 fine. Do you know what my friend the Marquis de Lafayette proves? Not all French people are weirdos. That's a generalization. Only some. The Orton family of Vermont started a catalog selling goods and wares just like their fathers and grandfathers did. They were in the sort of retail and farm business. They started a catalog. It met nationwide success, and in 1946 they opened the store now known as the Vermont Country Store. And we are about a half an hour from where we were before, at Saint-Gaudens National Park in New Hampshire. We crossed that bridge, the Cornish covered bridge, and now we are in Bellows Falls, Vermont. This place has everything. Really fun place to come. Kids tend to love it. They've got like penny candy, toys. Oh, you guys just wait. This is a good one. It's a beautiful store. So good in here, nice air conditioning. This place just goes on and on and on. Here's what I need. Bug stuff. Even got a bargain room upstairs with all kinds of cool stuff. Those are cute. Some very fetching. Do you want that nightgown?
I think I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It'd be really nice looking on you. Got some very vintage classics too. Like these have been around forever. My dad used the Royal Lime. Smells like my dad. Miss him. Love all of the displays and like all the aesthetics in here. It's so classic. It's great. See that turkey? We have them in our yard on a daily basis. Of course we have them in our yard alive, not stuffed. Okay, I found something for you. Fruitcake. And it's on sale. It's your lucky day. How many boxes should we get?
None.
What? How about as a door stopper?
I don't think so.
Cute things. Like, seriously, that is a... Oh, I love sauces and mustards. Okay, I gotta pick one. Definitely want to take a fun mustard home. If you go into my fridge at any given time, you will find like at least 5 types of gourmet mustard. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All right, I'm going Vermont maple mustard. I haven't tried this brand yet, so I'm gonna give it a go.
Buffalo kangaroo.
Yay! Did you say kangaroo?
Yeah. Of course, kangaroo.
That is not nice.
Very edible.
Okay. Cheese for days. Mustard and some lemon cookies. Random, I know, but cookies for the road or whatever, and mustard for my collection. It's always fun to go there. You never know what you'll find. Super cool place. They even have their own little covered bridge on site. So this bridge is actually from 1872. Neato. Also an old grist mill they brought to the site. I think they did that back in the 1960s. Making our way back east towards home and decided to stop and show you guys. This place is a favorite of ours. Again, beautiful in the winter with snow and even more lovely in the fall with leaves, but really nice anytime. This is the Stone Arch Bridge just outside of Stoddard, New Hampshire. And the twin arch structure built without mortar and sustained solely by expert shaping of its arch stones is a typical of a unique style of bridge construction employed primarily in the Kennebec River Valley in the first half of the 19th century. These bridges are a significant part of our American architectural heritage. It's just a nice spot along the highway. It's always a great like halfway point to stop and stretch legs, and we've brought the kids here before and done pictures and things like that. Just kind of a really amazing place. Yeah, the river is very low right now. Usually it's full, like roaring up to the sides. But like I said, it is really beautiful in the winter with snow and ice crystals, and when these leaves start to all turn, it looks really beautiful with the foliage. I told you guys in my most recent video about Franklin Pierce being the only president born in New Hampshire. Well, surprise, here's his house. We are just a little further down the road from where we were at the arched bridge. And the highway we're on is actually called the Pierce Highway. Here you can see it's a good, pretty big house. His father was a general in the Revolutionary War. I might honestly be a bigger fan of his father than I am of his, but I guess that's another topic. Just because I mean, to be honest with you, his presidency was kind of meh, a non-event, which I don't know, maybe that's good, but still cool. I mean, still president. Here's his house. It's pretty like incognito here. You can see it's just chill. I mean, we're in a very, very rural, not much going on type of area, but it is beautiful and another treasure to have. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I did not know this was here. This is so cool. Being the #1 George Washington fangirl. Okay, so tulip poplar planted in 1987 is a direct offshoot of one planted by George Washington in Mount Vernon, 1785. Oh, you guys, I miss Mount Vernon so much, and I'm hoping to take you guys on a road trip there soon. Because, yeah, it's like my happy place, love it. And anything connected to His Excellency and Mount Vernon is cool in my book. So that is neat. And you know, Franklin Pierce's dad being a soldier in the Revolutionary War and, you know, governor of New Hampshire. And I'm sure that he would have gotten along with George. I mean, most people got along with George Washington, but I think he'd approve. I think he'd be good with that. And it's really cool to have a little piece of that history here. That's awesome. I did not know that was there. I've never seen that. It's a fun surprise. Built in 1804 by Benjamin Pierce, officer in the Revolutionary War and governor of New Hampshire in 1827 to 1829. Birthplace of his son Franklin Pierce, who would go on to be 14th president of the United States. What a fun day. It's been like multiple things in one, and that's the thing too about driving around. We were like, you know, we're going to be near Franklin Pierce Homestead, and I did just mention it, so we should stop. And so that was a nice little impromptu extra adventure on top of adventure. Just so you guys know, this is in Hillsborough, New Hampshire, and the house is a museum and is open. Should actually even be open. Like if you were to come tomorrow, you'd be able to tour. But I think that's gonna be it for today. We did a lot of fun stuff. I'm that history chick, and like Patrick Henry, I know no way of judging the future but by the past. And you guys go ahead and do me a favor. Hit those like, subscribe buttons, share away, and we will see you on another adventure soon. Take care. Clockwork Mandarin? Question mark? I think there's a lot of common crackers in Vermont. You fool. There's a disturbance in the force. There's a disturbance in the force. You fool. I am the Sith. We move forward as one people. You notice each time that Palpatine impression was a little different. That I just realized. I'm like, who did that remind me of? That was kind of like Mayor Quimby. We move forward as one people. Like, what was with Boston Sith Lord? I'm sure there are Boston Sith Lords. I think some of them drive near my house. If you build it, they will come.